Hello everybody, Anna here from Ipswich Library and welcome to Sunday Crafts, and today we're going to make some flies. Might not sound very exciting, but look what they can do. They're on some string, and then if you pull them down to the bottom of the string, you tug on each string one hand at a time, like that, and they climb to the top. Okay, do that, show you that again, a bit faster. Whoa. So you can fasten them to a hook on your wall or a window, or you can take them outside and hang them in a tree or over your fence, and then you can make more than one, and you can have a race with somebody else in your house. So I'll show you how to make them in a minute. Here's another one that I made. He's a blue one, he's a little bit bigger, but they all work the same way. I think they're really good, so let's see how you make them, shall we? Okay, here we go. So this craft involves a little bit of origami, so which is paper folding. And I know that some of you have done some paper folding in Sunday crafts before with Matthew when he worked at Ipswich Library. So I hope you'll enjoy doing this. If you need some help from an older person in your house, then grab some help from them. It's a little bit tricky doing the folding, but it's worth it at the end to get these lovely flies that you can play with. So let's see. Let's pop those over there for a second. You can use any type of paper that you like to do this craft, as long as it is a square. So I've got several different types to show you here. This is actually proper origami paper, and it comes in a pack, and it's a different colour on the back to the front. And that's how we got this lovely white stripe on our fly. But you don't need to have origami paper, and you don't need to have paper that's different on the front and the back. So this one I made just with an ordinary sheet of white paper, and then I've coloured it in when I finish, so that it adds a little bit of decoration. And this one I made with some wrapping paper. So this is it's quite a good idea. If you've got a little bit of wrapping paper behind, left over, it's got to be quite strong wrapping paper. If it's quite thin and it rips easily, then it will probably rip when you try and play with it. But this is, you know, fairly strong wrapping paper, and of course it's coloured on one side and it's plain on the other. So you can use that, or you can just use some ordinary white paper and colour it in, or you can just use a piece of coloured paper and colour it in. But the important thing is that it does have to be a square. So this paper comes in a square already. If you've got an oblong piece of paper like this one, it doesn't matter what size the piece of paper your square is, as long as it is a square and not an oblong. So the best way to make a square out of an ordinary piece of paper, whether it's white or coloured, is to fold one side over so that it's at the top, nice and carefully. So you've got a point at that end, and then you've got an edge here, and if you cut on this edge, you will then have a square of paper. There you go, and it's going to make a bigger fly. So this size piece of paper will make a fly that's this big, and this size piece of paper made the fly that was that big, so you can see the difference. But they both work just as well when you put the string on them, so it doesn't matter what size they're in. So any size square made out of ordinary paper or origami paper or wrapping paper, and again I would fold that up like that to make a square, and then cut along that edge, and you've got a square. Easy. Right, so I was very naughty and I didn't tell you what you needed. So what you need is a square of paper, or maybe two if you're going to make two, so that you can race them with somebody else in your family, and some glue, and some colours if you're going to colour it in, a pair of scissors, and a long piece of string. This is about 2 meters long. It can be any kind of string. This is just garden string. You could even use wool if somebody in your house has got some knitting wool, just anything, but it needs to be about 2 meters long. Okay, so they're the things that you're going to need today. Okay, so we're going to start with the folding. The folding is the hardest bit really, so take your time. The more time and more careful you are, the better your fly will look at the end. I'm going to show you how to do it with the paper that's different on both sides because it's easier to show you when it's folded. So the first thing you have to do to fold is to take one corner right over to the other corner, and you have to do this really carefully, and you can fold the paper into a triangle like that. Then you need to open it out again and turn it round, and then fold the other corner up to make a triangle. So when you open it out, you can see that you've got a fold going from the top to the bottom and from left to right. So you need to have yours folded so the point is pointing upwards on the triangle. Then the next thing that you need to do is to take one of the sides at the triangle, side points, and we're going to make that point come all the way up so it meets that point at the top. And then we're going to put a crease in it so it stays there. Okay, so you see we've done that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this part of the triangle all the way to the top. There you are. So now you've got a diamond shape, and you can open out the diamonds and it will make that triangle again that we had to start with. I'm going to leave the diamond shape closed up, and now we're going to make the wings on the fly, so these bits here. Okay. The way we do that is we fold down the triangle, so it's got to come to the point. Take the top and you have to fold it to this point here, and then you have to leave a little gap there, so don't fold it straight down like that. You need to do it slightly bent so that you've got this little bit here that's going to form the wings. Fold that over there, and then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this point of your diamond here, going to fold the paper down, but leave a little bit here so that it's got 2 wings. I haven't quite done that equally. I'm just going to... So if you do them equally, they'll both be folded to the same place there. All right. So that's going to be your wings. Then the next thing that you're going to do is, you see you've still got 2 bits here of your diamond at the top. You're going to take one piece and fold it down, not all the way down to where the wings are, but just a little bit so that it overlaps and it comes down towards the bottom of your fly there. So can you see what I've done? I'll fold it back up again. I've made a little fold here, folded it down. It will cover up the top of your leg bits there. Okay. And then the one that's left, fold it down again, but don't go all the way down to the bottom of that one. Go a little bit shorter, like that. So now you can see that you've made this bit here, this white strip. That will all look the same colour if you've used a paper that's the same colour, but you can colour it in. Right, so there's lots of things to remember there, so I hope you can go back and stop the video at certain points so that you can see all the things that you've got to do. When you've done that, you then need to turn it over. And then can you see that you've got a straight line here, but you've got 2 little bits that bend down on the sides? What you're going to do is you're going to take that little bit And I'm going to draw on where the centre line is. I can see a crease on my model, which is about here. You don't need to draw this on yours. This is just because for the camera, because I think it's not easy to see where the line is. There's a line that you'll see that goes all the way down the middle. And then you need to take one of the bendy edges at the top and fold it over so that this bit meets the line. There. Okay. Give it a good squash down. So can you see? It looks like that before. I folded it over and this edge now meets the middle line. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. So I folded them over. It looked like that to start with. Now this bit has come across there and this bit has come across here. Okay, so now you can see if you turn it over that you've got the same fly shape that I had before. Turn it back to where you've just folded it. Now what this is, I think, is the trickiest bit. You need to take your string, fold it in half. You won't be able to see all this on the camera, but so I've folded my string in half. I've got a loop at this end and then I've got the dangly bits at this end. All right, but it's the loop that I want from where I folded it in half. In the middle of here, I'm going to put some glue, but be really careful only to put the glue in the middle. Do not put any glue at the edges here, because otherwise that's where you're going to put your string and the string will stick to your fly and it won't go up and down. So you've got to take the loop of your string and you're going to put the loop inside your fly just where it folds over, and then stick down your fly's wing, but this string should still be able to move. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure your loop is on the inside of your fly's wing. Stick down your wing and then make sure that your string can still move. Okay, so that's why it's really important just to put the glue in the middle. It will work, I think, as well if you put a piece of tape along there instead of glue, just to stick the wings down. But it's really important that you don't tape or glue the string in the middle. And then you can just draw on some eyes. So you could stick on some eyes if you've got some googly eyes, but I just drew on 2 big round eyes onto my fly. There you go. And there is your fly. I'm going to go through that quickly one more time with a plain piece of paper so you can see all the folds again, but hopefully you'll be able to stop the video as I say and see how it's done. So here's that blue piece of paper that I had before. So remember, fold it over from one corner to the other corner and then fold it over again on the other 2 corners of your square so that when you open it out you can see a cross. Then make it into a triangle with the point at the top. Take the bottom of the triangle and make it come all the way to the top and fold it, and then do it on the other side. So now you've got a diamond. So then these are going to be your wings of your fly or your moth. Remember, we take the top bit and we fold it all the way down to the corner, but we make it a bit of an angle there so that you make a wing. Take the top of this one, fold it all the way down to that corner, and then make another wing. Then we take the top piece and we fold it down, but not all the way down. Just we leave a little bit of a gap at the bottom there. And then you take the remaining piece and you fold that over the top of there, and again leave a bit of a gap. Right. So you can see that that's not as easy to see now as it was with the two coloured one, but you can always decorate it at the end. So you've done all the folding on this side. You turn it over. You take the top corner and you fold that in to the middle. Take the other top corner and you fold that in to the middle. There. Then you take your string. Let's have a look. Some more string. They're all getting tangled together now. There's one. Let's take the string out of this one and I'll show you how to put it in again. Take your string and you get your loop when you've halved it and you put it inside your wings. You take some glue. You only glue in the middle. And then you stick down your wings, making sure that the string is inside the wings. And make sure that your string can still move backwards and forwards. Then you turn over your fly. Now this one, I'm just going to put some eyes on him. And some really big eyes. You can decorate your flies however you like. Now this is just one colour, so if you wanted, you could, the bit that was a different colour on the other one, this one, you could put some stripes on that. You could colour in your whole fly if you want a different colour, but it's easier to do it once you've made it and you can see the shape. Put some dots on his wings. There you go. So that's quite tricky craft this week, but I think you'll agree that they're really nice. And they're quite fun. So in a minute I'm going to go and find someone to help me have a race and you can see who wins with our flies. I hope you've enjoyed making these and I'll see you next week for another Sunday craft. Bye. So there we go. I'm going to have a fly race with John just to show you when you play with them, when you pull them, you've got to pull the strings out sideways when you pull them up. Can you see that? There you go. I'll show you one more time. If you do it straight down, they don't. Oh, this one will do it, but the bigger ones I've found that they need you to hold the string out like that when you pull it. So that's what John's going to do. So I think, are we about level, John?
I think we're level.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Ha ha! I win. Best of 3.
Best of 3.
Come on then, pull it down. 3, 2, 1, go! That was a fail.
Oh, I've broken the string.
Oh no, we've broken the string. Grab another one. Hang on. We've got another one. We've got an emergency backup fly. Come on there. Rubbish. Right now. You ready? Put him down. 3, 2, 1, go! I wonder if I'm winning because I wonder if the slow one, the big ones, go faster than the slow ones. No, the small ones go faster than the big ones.
Small ones normally go faster.
Yeah, the small ones go faster than the big ones. So you can have an experiment at home and see, make some different sizes and see which ones will go faster.